What's up, YouTube? Zach's back with another attack, and today we're going to be talking about my record collection, and it's amassed quite a bit, so I'm excited to get right into that and tell you all about the different records that I've got. I think it could be exciting, and if nothing else, insightful into the kind of music that I listen to. But first, I got a quick little joke for you. You guys ever heard of a hot stone massage? Well, the other day, I got a hot stoner massage. I walked into a dispensary, and next thing I knew, a sweaty dude was rubbing my shoulders. Alright, so let's get started right away, and I'm actually going to start not with records. I've got 3 Rolling Stones that I really love. And first is the Robin Williams one. This is a newer one. This is right after he passed away. Really like that one. Next I've got a older Huey Lewis and the News Rolling Stone, back when the Rolling Stones were bigger than your face. See? And finally, my favorite one is this old Rolling Stone of Robin Williams. Robin Williams is really one of my biggest influences, I guess. He's a really great comedian, and he was a great actor, and he's definitely done some less motivational things, I guess, but he's definitely done some really inspiring motivational things. A lot of his quotes are really inspiring, and I just really like Robin Williams. I think everybody does. He's like America's sweetheart or something. I mean, not anymore, but you get what I'm saying. Next up, we have probably my most played record that I own, and that is Ed Sheeran's X. It is really, really cool. The art on it and everything is just awesome. On the inside, the sleeves have that's from the song Bloodstream, and then the back has all the lyrics and stuff on it. And then this one's got a cat with the Pharrell hat, and again on the back is all the lyrics and some more art. So that is really, really cool. That's probably my favorite record that I own, and like I said, I just listen to it all the time. And the coolest part is the record itself is actually green, and it's slightly see-through, but not too much, but it is very green, and I just think that's really cool. Alright, so this one's a little weird. I have The Sting, the soundtrack of the movie. The thing is, there is actually no record in this. I was record hunting at Goodwill or Salvation Army or something like that, and I saw this, got excited because this is a good movie, and I went to purchase it, and there was nothing in the case. So I told the guy I'd give him like a dime for it or something, and he was cool with that. So I have the sleeve of that, but no record. So that's kind of unfortunate. But next up, we've got Songs of the Flintstones. This is, I've actually not listened to this one yet. It's one of my newer ones, but the sleeve is a bit destroyed. So that's kind of sad. I used to have all of my records displayed on the wall of my house, and just how everything's back here, it was just ceiling to floor, just all of my records. And that's really, really cool. That's actually what the thumbnail is right now. So I'm sure you saw the thumbnail if you're watching this, and that is what that is. I'm not able to do that in this house, but I definitely plan on growing my collection and eventually having just a whole room, the entire thing, just records all over the place. Next up, we've got Chipmunk's Christmas. Now, the thing with records is that sometimes you get a name on it, and there's not much you can do about that. It really takes away some of the value of records, as well as just making it look a little tacky, especially when they were all hung on my walls. I tried to put the ones that had stuff written on the covers towards the floor, or right up at the ceiling, and then more at eye level, all of the ones that I really, really love and that are not written on or anything like that. So now we've got Fiddler on the Roof. This is also a newer record. I haven't listened to this one. Well, I guess I did listen to it once, because I listened to If I Were a Rich Man. And so that's Fiddler on the Roof. That's never seen the show, but I've heard the music, and it's a little weird, but it is a good show. So I've got the Barbra Streisand album. Now, if you've been watching me play South Park: The Stick of Truth, then you might know how I feel about Barbra Streisand. She's definitely not my favorite. I actually got this record just to write on. We had people sign records at our wedding, and to see what kind of pen we needed, or marker or whatever, to be able to have people sign records as a guest book kind of thing, we bought a Barbra Streisand record because we didn't care about it, and we didn't care if it got ruined while being wrote on. Now, the records we actually had people sign at the wedding is way cooler. We've got Tangled, and as you can see, it's got signatures all over it, as well as a really cool picture from the movie. On the back is another really cool picture of the movie, and more signatures. And then we also had people sign The Lion King, and that's super cool too. Just the pictures on the records are really, really cool. I love it when records have pictures on them, or when the record is just green, like that Ed Sheeran one, or things like that. So, let's keep on moving. Let's see here. We've got Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down. This has songs like All Night Long on it and Hello, which are really good Lionel Richie songs. A lot of these records I get, and I know like one or two songs on them, but not all of them. So I'll still listen to them, but a lot of times I'll buy them for one or two songs, but then I'll learn a lot of the different songs from these artists because I buy them for one or two songs and then listen to the whole thing. And a lot of times that introduces me to some back catalog stuff that I wouldn't have normally heard from that artist. Next up, you've got a Cactus record, Hot and Sweaty. It's on stage in Puerto Rico and in the studio. I actually have not listened to this one either. I'm not entirely sure who Cactus is, honestly. This was actually given to me by my Uncle Chuck. So that is Hot and Sweaty. Randy Newman. As you can see, I bought this for $6. That is a bit much. I don't normally spend that kind of money on records. Sometimes I do, like Lion King and the Tangled ones were $20-30 each, and so sometimes I do spend really a lot of money on records, but Randy Newman, $6 is about the most I've spent, and honestly I haven't listened to it enough to make it worth that. There's a couple good songs on here like Short People, but you know, you win some, you lose some, and one of the times I won was Grease. I got this at Goodwill, I believe, and I think I only paid like $1 or something, so that is definitely a winner. I love that musical. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. This is another great one. They don't make music like this anymore, and Fleetwood Mac is just legendary, so I am excited to have that one. I've definitely put some use into it. This one's a bit questionable. We've got Bill Cosby is a very funny fellow. Right. I love this mostly because of the Noah's Ark segment that he's got through the whole thing. Here's another one of my favorite records. It is much newer, but I have listened to it almost as much as Ed Sheeran. And that is The Book of Mormon. So this is definitely a great album. Who can go wrong with The Book of Mormon? If you've ever seen this musical, you will know how hilarious it is. When you open it up, it's got all kinds of pictures and stuff. It came with stickers. Shout out to Shane. He actually bought this for me. So thank you so much, Shane. I really appreciate that one. Now we've got the Blues Brothers. I love the Blues Brothers. Drake and Josh kind of got me into the Blues Brothers, as well as the movie. I watched it with my father. But yeah, I would always sing Soul Man at karaoke with Eric, and it would be lots of fun, and we would imitate the Blues Brothers a little bit. Another one of my favorite records, probably in my top 5 easily, is Queen's Jazz. I love this record. It's got Bicycle Race on it, and Let Me Entertain You, Fat Bottom Girls. Man, I'm surprised that record still works, to be honest. It's so good. Next, we've got Huey Lewis and the News, Sports. That is a classic record. Everybody knows this album if you're into that kind of music, I guess. And if you've seen Back to the Future, then you definitely know Huey Lewis. Another one that's probably in my top 5, so I guess this would be number 4 in my top 5, is Tenacious D, The Pick of Destiny. This is a great album, great music, great band, hilarious. I can't listen to this without just cracking up the whole time. And if you haven't seen the movie, go check it out. It's very inappropriate, but it is very funny. And you cannot really go wrong with Tenacious D. Next up, we've got ABBA. This is the one with Dancing Queen on it and Super Trooper. I listened to a band called the A-Teens when I was a kid, and it was like a teenage group covering ABBA songs, and I don't know why I didn't just listen to ABBA, but the A-Teens were pretty good, and ABBA's even better. So I've got an ABBA CD, or record. If you have noticed, I have a wide variety. I've got comedy, rock and roll, like metal. I've got ABBA, whatever you want to classify that as. I've got other pop. I've just got so many different genres going. Next up, we've got Peter, Paul, and Mary to continue that trend. Good band, definitely unlike anything else I've really showed. But this is a good one. It's not one of their best ones, but it's got some good songs on it. Here's a good one, Willie Nelson. Gotta love Willie Nelson. I was working at a place in Auburn, Indiana called the Outdoor Theater, and they actually had Willie Nelson's son, Lucas Nelson, performing there, and I got to eat pizza with him, so that's cool. Willie was not there, or at least if he was staying in the bus. He never came out that I noticed, but that was a fun experience, getting to eat pizza with Willie Nelson's son. He was a good guy. Janis Joplin, Greatest Hits. I do wish that this wasn't Greatest Hits, other than the fact that I can listen to it and know a lot of the songs and really like listening to all of the songs. But Janis Joplin is a great singer, gone too soon, and this is a great one. Me and Bobby McGee, Down on Me, Piece of My Heart, Try, Summertime. It's just a lot of good songs on there. Greatest Hits aren't as cool to me as the actual records that the songs came from, but they are definitely cool because you know a lot of the songs and you know most of the songs are gonna be good. So that's that. Next up, we've got, it's a little more beat up than some of the other ones, but we've got Deep Purple. Deep Purple did Smoke on the Water. That's not on this record, but this is a good one. I've only listened to it once, I think, but you can tell it's had some wear before I got it. That's another one from my Uncle Chuck. Another one of my favorites, this might be number 5 on my top 5, is Passenger, All the Little Lights. Kind of similar to Ed Sheeran, singer-songwriter kind of vibe. This is the record that's got Let Her Go on it. The song that's like, well, you only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. And that's why I love this record. That's originally why I bought it, but I've since listened to this whole record thousands of times. Maybe not that much. That might be a bit of a hyperbole, but definitely good, especially the last song. If you have only heard Let Her Go by Passenger, look up I Hate. I Hate by Passenger. Great song. He's only done it live. The version that's on this record is live. So, yeah. Look that song up if you have not. Next up, we've got Train, and they covered Led Zeppelin 2. Led Zeppelin 2 is a great record by itself, but Train is one of my favorite bands, so it was cool to have them do a cover of the entirety of Led Zeppelin 2 and be able to have this record. I was a little bummed when I bought this, though, because I was told that it was going to be signed by the band, and it's not. So that kind of sucked, but what can you do? Next up is Lynyrd Skynyrd. I did pay $10 for this one. Definitely worth it because it's got Freebird, Simple Man, Gimme 3 Steps, and other great songs on it. Led Zeppelin is just legendary. I would love to see them live one of these days, but I think it's funny because this actually says pronounced Lynyrd Skynyrd. So apparently people could not pronounce it back in the day. Next up, another really, really good record, probably number 6 on my top 5, is Adele's 25. Now, my dog does not like the way Adele looks. My dog hates Adele. I don't know why, but she decided to eat the record sleeve. My dog, not Adele. Adele didn't eat the record. Adele didn't eat the record sleeve, sorry. But this is a great record. I really like Adele, and she's got some good songs. My wife really loves Adele too, so shout out to Ashley. To keep on going, we've got Something New by the Beatles. Definitely a good record. You can't go wrong with the Beatles. Never ever. I own as many Beatles records as I possibly can. Every time I see one, I try and scoop it up. I'm still waiting on the White Album by the Beatles, but we're getting there. We've got Alice Cooper, Easy Action. When I lived in Phoenix, I actually lived right around the corner from a youth center that Alice Cooper ran where he taught people how to rock and roll, basically. And it was really cool. I never got to meet him, but there was several events that he put on, and I went to his restaurant and just things like that. It was really cool. Alice Cooper is from Arizona, if you don't know. Aerosmith rocks. Great, great record. Aerosmith is amazing. Back in the Saddle, Last Child, Rats in the Cellar, Get the Lead Out. Great album. Aerosmith, you can't go wrong. Almost as good as Lynyrd Skynyrd. Next, we've got Styx. Kilroy Was Here. A great album. It's got Mr. Roboto, Don't Let It End, things like that on it. Styx is another great one. I'm into a lot of older music, especially with records because a lot of them were older. And you can continue that trend with Bruce Springsteen, The Boss, man. I love this record. Definitely good. Born in the USA, Bobby Jean, Dancing in the Dark. Great album. I know I'm saying that a lot, but really, some good albums. Jethro Tull, another great classic band. Atomic Rooster. I actually don't know this band, and I've never listened to this record. Jethro Tull as well as Atomic Rooster were given to me by my Uncle Chuck, and yeah, I have not listened to Atomic Rooster, but it looks interesting. It's got some cool cover art. You can see the Atomic Rooster there. Eventually I will listen to this, but I have not had the chance yet. Usually when I put in a record, I go straight to the Ed Sheeran or the Tenacious D or something like that I know I'm gonna just jam to the entire time. We've got The Police, Synchronicity. This is definitely a good album. The Police and Sting, definitely classic, and they're just really, really good. I can't say enough about half of these bands. And then on the sleeve, it's got more pictures. One of the only bad things about hanging up the records is that you don't get to see some of this cool art that's inside. And then even on the record, a lot of times there is some cool art. So one more reason why I really love records. Just so much art, so much cool stuff, and it's so big. With CDs, it's a lot more condensed, and I mean, that's fine and dandy, but it's a lot cooler when it's just giant and in your face. In your face. The Police, Synchronicity. Great album. There's a bit of a funny one. We've got Cruisin' by the Village People. This is the album that came out with the YMCA on it. I've definitely listened to this a few times because of the YMCA, but again, I got it as a bit of a joke. It was at Goodwill, and I believe it was $1, if not even cheaper. So definitely a good find. It's in good condition, and with YMCA on it, it's probably the Village People's best album. So, this is Captain Beyond, another one from my Uncle Chuck that I have not listened to yet, but definitely enjoy the cover art and had it hanging in a good place on my wall so people could see it. Let me know in the comments if you know Captain Beyond or Atomic Rooster. If there's one of those guys I should check out. Any of the ones that I've said that I don't know. But one that I do know very well and have listened to quite a bit is Piano Man by Billy Joel. Not the best condition, but definitely a very awesome record, if not a bit creepy on the sleeve. But what can you do? That's Billy Joel for you. Definitely a good record. It's got things like Piano Man, obviously. Let's see here. If I Only Had the Words to Tell You, The Ballad of Billy the Kid, and, you know, I'm not going to name every song on it, but it's definitely a good record. Next up, we've got John Cougar Mellencamp, Scarecrow, and this was $4, which is a great deal because John Cougar Mellencamp is a great artist. He's from Indiana, and I actually think it would be really cool to eventually try and get him for the nonprofit to play an event, if he's willing to do that. I know he's kind of hard to get, and he's probably very expensive, so that won't be for a long ways down the road, but I think that would be incredibly cool. Next up, we've got The Cars. This is a great one. I love The Cars. I actually have not listened to this one. Oh, actually I have. This is the one with Best Friend's Girl on it. I have listened to this like 2 times, but I need to listen to it more because I really like The Cars. Forgot I had this one a little bit. But you get so many, you start to forget what you have and what you don't. Next up, we've got Cheap Trick, The Dream Police. Cheap Trick is another 80s band, I believe, but they are definitely good. I mean, Dream Police, The House is Rockin', Writing on the Wall, Need Your Love. So many good songs on this record, and definitely one to check out if you don't know Cheap Trick. Classic rock is always good. Always good. Chicago, the White Album. Again, not the best condition, but this actually came in like a box set of 4 records, I think. And so I've got 4 copies of this sleeve, essentially. I mean, the songs on the back are different, but it's the same sleeve design. So I put this like in the 4 corners of my room because it was the same record sleeve, the same picture on the front. REO Speedwagon. Great. My biggest issue with this is that it's got a bunch of stickers and stuff on the back. Not much you can do about that. If you peel them off, it will really mess up the cardboard of the sleeve. So I can't do that, but I'd much rather it be on the back than on the front. But yeah, this has Can't Fight This Feeling on it, and that is my favorite REO Speedwagon song. So definitely love that record. Billy Joel, The Stranger. Good one. And on the back is another cool picture. Sometimes I just go through my records and look at all the pictures. One of my worst quality sleeves, but one of the best records I own. This is in my top 7, I guess, if this is number 7. Thriller! This is a classic record. You have to own this if you have a good record collection, because Thriller is just an amazing record. So many good songs on it, and Michael Jackson is a legend, and I'm glad to have that, even if the sleeve is in terrible condition. We've got Loverboy, Get Lucky. This has Working for the Weekend and Jump on It. Great album. Great band. Check it out. Great art. A lot of times records get this ring around them, and that kind of sucks, but it still looks really cool. And so yeah, that is Loverboy. Got another Bill Cosby one. I have not listened to this one yet, but I started out as a child. He was much younger. It was $1. You know, I thought I could get it, and if nothing else, then I wasted $1. But I really like that other Bill Cosby comedy record, so I thought I would enjoy that one. I've got The Best of the Blues Brothers. This one was given to me by my sister Becca. Thank you so much, Becca. I love you and appreciate it. Great record. I listened to this more than my other one because it's got the hits. I know I said that I don't like the greatest hits kind of records as much, but sometimes I do when I'm just listening to a record because I know the songs are going to continuously be great. We've got Chicago, Hot Streets. Good one, good one. Little Miss Lovin', Ain't It Time, and yeah, so that's that. I definitely got way more into Chicago after getting into my record collection because I used to not really like Chicago as much, but I never listened to them that much other than like Saturday in the Park. Next up we've got Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. It is actually in really good condition, and Elton John is a great musician. Everyone knows Elton John for the most part, and the art is just really cool. I'm a big fan of Wizard of Oz, Wicked, things like that, so of course I'm gonna love the Wizard of Oz themed album by Elton John. Barry Manilow, Trying to Get the Feeling. Good one, good one. I Write the Songs is probably my favorite on this album. We've got John Denver. I'm trying to pick it up a little bit. I know it's been like 26 minutes, so not trying to bore you guys, but I do have some more records to get through. We might actually make this a two-part thing because I don't want to take too long, but we've got John Denver, Autograph. Definitely some good ones on here. My favorite is probably You Say That the Battle Is Over. That's a good one. Another Willie Nelson and Family Live. So that is good. I've listened to this once, I think, and I'm not sure if I finished it because it's got 2 records in it. But it's definitely got some good ones in it, like Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys. So, you know, some good ones. Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. This is a great album. I listened to this a few times before I saw Black Sabbath on their last tour ever. I was actually working at the venue that Black Sabbath played at in Phoenix, and on all my breaks I went and watched them play, and I could see them from where I was working, so I got to basically see Black Sabbath on their last tour ever for free, so that was pretty cool. And Black Sabbath is another legendary. Ozzy Osbourne, you can't go wrong. Let me do just like 2 more. I think we are going to go ahead and make this a 2-part thing because I just can't get through all these in 30 minutes, and I don't want to make this much longer than that, just to keep you guys from being bored or anything. We've got Iron Butterfly. I also don't know this band. Inagata La Vida. Between Iron Butterfly and Atomic Rooster, I've got some weird animal records going on. There's another one from Uncle Chuck. I have not heard it. Inagata La Vida sounds familiar, but I have not listened to this record yet. I plan on listening to it for sure soon. Very, very soon. Eventually one of these days I'm going to go through and just listen to all of the records from start to finish that I have never done that to. And that's going to be one of the first ones because it sounds cool. And it is classic rock kind of thing. Here's another one. I got this from Uncle Chuck, and it's Blood Rock 2. Don't know this band. They're from Fort Worth, Texas. And they sound interesting. The back's got some cool art. The front's got some cool art. I don't really know much about them. I assume they're classic rock. That's mostly what Uncle Chuck listened to. So yeah, it has been 29 minutes. We'll do one last one because I really, really love this record. And I gotta show it to you. Glass House. This is number 8 on my top 10. I guess I'll make it unless I get further than that, which I just might because I love a lot of these records. Glass House, Billy Joel. Amazing record. Made me right. Don't ask me why. It's still rock and roll to me. Sleeping with the Television On. Through the Long Night. Just a great record. Almost every song, actually every song on this is really amazing. And I wish Billy Joel would put out more songs. He said in an interview that he's just put out all the music that he needs to. He feels like he doesn't want to be like Elton John or somebody who keeps putting out record after record and the music is not the best that it's ever been. You know, he wanted to get better with every record, and he's put out the best stuff he possibly can at this point, he said. So that's a bit sad that he's not putting out any more music, but at least he's got all the great hits that are on these records. And just to skip one more, I've got Chicago again. I told you I've got like 4 copies of this sleeve. Songs are different, like I said. This is side 5 and 6. So that's my record collection, guys. Half of it anyway. As you can see, we have gotten through those records, and we still have these to go. So next Thursday, we'll probably do part 2 of my record live stream. That way you can get through them all. If you guys are interested in my record collection at all, I think it's pretty cool. I love a lot of them, and if you guys have any questions for me, definitely leave it in the comments section. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any content, especially my Kingdom Hearts stuff that's going to be Monday through Wednesday. And then Thursday, of course, is my live streams. And Friday is Zack to the Future, old style content, kind of anything goes. But we'll see what happens. Tomorrow is going to be a $1 energy drink. I know I said that last week, but we actually did the Pocky One Chip Challenge. And that was more important. It was a lot funnier to me. Whereas if you're into energy drinks and food review kind of things, you'll really love this energy drink $1 review. But the Pocky One Chip Challenge is more broad, and I wanted to get that out while it's still as relevant as possible. So those energy drinks are going to stay $1. I'm going to stay Zack. Don't you do crack, and I will catch you in the future. Thanks for watching, guys.